Hey everyone, this is Mike and I'm an alcoholic. Welcome to the Sober Living Podcast. If you're new here, I'm glad you found us. And if you've been here before, welcome back. Quick disclaimer, I am a member of Alcoholics Anonymous, but I don't represent them. The opinions I share are my own. Today's message comes from Daily Reflections for July 21st and is based on page 74 of the 12 Steps and the 12 Traditions. I've reworded the passage to avoid copyright issues. Today's message tells us recovery doesn't mean all of our problems completely disappear. However, over time, we begin to find freedom from many of the things that used to control us, and we start to experience moments of genuine peace. If you spent years living with anxiety, emotional highs and lows, or constant chaos like I have, well, that kind of peace is something you can't put a price on. Man, this is just such a true statement for me. I've always struggled with anxiety and depression, and it got significantly worse when I started drinking. And I know I'm not alone in feeling that way. I started drinking because I wanted to escape my life and my depression. I was self-medicating to try to feel better. But the reality is, the more I drank, the worse I felt. There were the constant hangovers, the remorse and embarrassment over the stupid things I said or did while I was drunk, the fear of checking my bank account after a night out because I was worried about how much money I'd spent, and even the confusion of trying to figure out how I got home the night before. Life was truly a mess, and it had become completely unmanageable. Things were getting so bad that I was having multiple panic attacks every single day. I often had to drink just to function and quiet those fears. I could go on and on about this. Eventually, one of my good friends convinced me to go to the doctor and get help for my anxiety. It took some time, but that medication eventually started working, and honestly, it probably saved my life. Now, I'm not here to give anyone any medical advice. Medication isn't the right answer for everyone. I can only tell you what worked for me. And looking back, I really don't know how much longer I would have kept drinking if I hadn't gotten that help. The cool thing is that after quitting drinking, I was eventually able to come off my anxiety medication altogether, and today I feel great. I still pay attention to my mental health, and I even asked my wife to let me know if she noticed me ever slipping backwards. But so far, so good. So when I read today's reflection about finding real peace of mind, my thoughts immediately went to the promises in the big book, and an interesting conversation that I'd had a few weeks before. I was helping run a meeting at a local treatment center, and one of the people there asked, "When do things start to get better?" I told him that recovery is different for all of us. We all grow at different speeds, and how much effort we're willing to put into the recovery matters. But I also told him that things really do get better if we really work the program. We opened the big book to the promises in chapter 6 and talked about them together. The following is a paraphrasing of those promises. But it says, those promises tell us that if we continue doing the work, we'll begin to experience freedom and happiness. We'll start to understand serenity and know peace. Fear will begin to lose its grip on us. Our outlook on life will start to change, and we'll discover that God is doing for us what we couldn't do so for ourselves. I went on to explain that for me, those promises didn't all come true overnight. They've come true slowly, one at a time, and when I look back today, I can honestly see that they're continuing to come true today. The same can be said for my spiritual awakenings. I kept waiting for that lightning strike. I kept waiting for that one moment where I'd suddenly say, okay, I get it now. But at least for me, that's not how it happened. My recovery has been a series of small incremental changes. And looking back, I can see just how much I've changed. I just couldn't always see it while it was happening. And don't get me wrong, I've definitely had moments where I stopped and thought, okay, God, yeah, I see you. I see what you're doing. Those moments are incredibly special for me, and they usually come through the people God has placed in my life. The important thing is that they do happen, if I'm willing to stay open, keep doing the work, and trust the process. It's just one day at a time. You know, recovery has also taught me that God usually works through small, everyday changes. Maybe today I'll have a little more patience. Maybe I'll have a little less fear. Hell, maybe today I'll experience just a little more peace than I did yesterday. When I stop and look back, I can see that those little moments have added up to a life I never thought was possible. And to me, that's how the promises come true. Just one day at a time. So hey, thanks for listening. Stay sober, stay strong, and keep moving forward. Until next time.